I definitely could have done this probably weeks ago, but INFERNO Sharon is done, free to play, no SSRs, no Lily, no Yelly, none of that nonsense that makes you say, I gotta quit the game because this game's trash because of the heroes that I need. Bullshit. Let me collect this, now I can finally finish my Hyperlink challenge. I already got Inferno Hoyan done. Defeat Sharon Inferno difficulty, it's on its way. All the PvP for thresholds and Grim Pursuit is now done. Here's the team that I beat it with. Dorothy the Wisher, E tier, Valyrian, Kachchi the Goat, and Ditting. On auto, the success rate probably 30 to 50%, I'ma be honest. But you'll know why when you see the stats that I used on these heroes. Because what I wanted to show you is you don't even need crazy stats. No one is really even over like 250 speed. I'll showcase the run first, and then I'll show you the stats, and probably explain a little bit more about the thought process that I had. But before I get into the run, I just want to show something real quick. All these runs technically usually have one thing in common, and that's Lily. There are teams though, however, that do not use Lily. But I do these kind of videos to show you that, hey, you can do them with no SSRs. But you definitely want to bring your SSRs in, they're going to help you progress. So make sure to use this strategy mechanic in the game. Click on Show Owned Animus, Show Auto Only, and it'll show you the teams that you have available to beat it. So here you go, Valyrian, Dorothy the Wisher, Kachchi the Goat, Ditting. Kachchi the Goat goes first. He's on Codex of Magic. Get that immunity out, defense buff. Then you have Dorothy the Wisher. The life leech is super important, but also the crit rate buff for Ditting to do more damage. Now, I have to say, with this dungeon, you have to hope and pray that the passive of Ditting, the target, goes on Sharon, because sometimes it goes on the different ads, and you really have to either A, do a little bit of damage to Sharon first, because you can't damage the ads, right? Or B, you hope and pray the passive goes on. So anyway, with this team, you got to replace your teammates, your SSRs, with this team to fill out what you need, okay? But Kachchi the Goat on Codex of Magic is huge, right? Dorothy the Wisher with the instant turn 2 Ditting with crit damage buff on Time Weave to hopefully get those cooldown reductions, which is why another reason it's such a low success rate, because I'm relying on Time Weave. But we got Valyrian for the attack buff and the survivability, invincibility, heal over time. Dorothy the Wisher cleansing 2 debuffs on your team is huge. Life leech from Ditting is huge with that buff, and it's a low success rate because A, you'll see the stats. I wanted to make it reasonable, and B, no SSRs. And I have so much more improvement to do on these 4 heroes that I can make to make the runs a little bit quicker for 1, and 2, more higher success rate. Ditting, he's on White Fang. I would personally want him on Keen Eye Fury, but he's on Keen Eye Harvest. I can't get a gosh darn Keen Eye Fury to drop. Keen Eye Harvest isn't bad, but I would just prefer Keen Eye Fury. Also, I can't freaking re-roll this stupid middle passive. It needs to get better. And I'm out of reconfig chips, so I gotta keep farming Grim Pursuit to get more reconfig chips so that I can keep re-rolling this passive that keeps going to blues, and I just can't do it. And even though my Ditting stats are pretty mediocre, okay, probably some people will say they're great, I think there's more room for improvement. Like I said, it's Harvest, Keen Eye. These are the substats on the left-hand side. This one's sweet, but again, effect accuracy could say crit damage. That'd be sweet. Then you got Keen Eye, crit rate, main stat. Yeah, see no speed there. Flat attack. I'd like attack bonus as a substat. But anyway, another attack bonus, Fury Edge. These stats could be better. Crit rate could be here. And then crit damage, main stat, Harvest. Yeah, substats could be improved. He is max skilled, obviously. And then you have Valyrian. Here's her stats. Definitely could be improved. All three of my supports are on Gigabyte, and I think that is very important in this stage because I'm not using any AoE strip to strip the speed buff from the enemies. And again, passive effects, like, yeah, defense is nice. I'd probably want HP there for a bigger shield. Don't really want speed, but it actually works out on how I've seen Gigabyte proc and Valyrian jumps in front of the enemy. And then insight, I don't need insight. I'd like to re-roll it, but I can't. Again, more room for improvement. She's only max skilled on her skill 3, plus 12 Wellspring, Unbreakable, plus 9. Here's my substats. Again, it could be improved tremendously, like crit damage on a Wellspring, like whatever. Crit rate on here, like come on. These are not optimal modules or substats. HP bonus main stat with attack and attack bonus, effect accuracy. Come on, barcode, what are you doing? Well, this is all I had. The RNG is not there for me, okay? Flat stat, main stat, and then we got defense bonus as a main stat with crit rate, crit damage, woohoo! And I said Gigabyte on every support, but I actually lied because I forgot Kachchi to guard. Here's his stats, but he's on Codex of Magic, which is highly important. That is huge for a speed clear for this dungeon. And again, this could be improved. This could be a red speed, which would be nice. Defensive stance is huge here. Only skills max is his third skill, and I did the first skill to get those speed nodes because that's an extra 12 speed. That's huge. But he's on Swift Rush, Swift Smite, and I lied again because I forgot he's on 271 speed, but it's not like 300, 320 speed, okay? This is very mid-game and even early mid-game type of speed in this game currently, 2 months in. But I didn't want to go too crazy because they'd be like, oh, barcode, yeah, you're not using SSRs, but you got crazy endgame gear. I have 2 Swift Rush Matrix here, and it's outstanding, not even mythic. Hopefully so you can relate, with crappy substats except for the effect accuracy. And then we have another one, low speed, high HP bonus, because of course RNG sub rolls, we're not going to get land on speed every single time. This is decent, just one roll into everyone. How many times have you guys seen this where it's like a mythic, great shell, great substats, and hey, one substat roll in every single substat, yippee. A Swift Smite with no speed, can you relate? And then we got effect accuracy with a plus 3 speed and another effect accuracy on an onslaught because screw it. This actually came off my Kaz the Reveille, I think. It was like a Revelation build with like high crit, obviously for Doki Doki. And then we got our F tier Dorothy the Wisher. Here's her stats here, Shell, Gigabyte, highly important. Again, improvements here, improvements heal. She doesn't heal, she doesn't shield. I don't need synergy, but it still works. I do highly suggest investing into skill 3 and skill 2 if you want to use this team, but oh my goodness, just put in Lily. But if you don't have Lily, use Dorothy the Wisher. Yeah, Fire Kachchi actually would be a great option, which I've already tried 1,000 times because he stuns the ads. But what you're missing here is the extreme importance of Life Leech and crit rate. Crit rate boosting the damage of Didding and Life Leech healing Didding up the full. Plus she purifies 2 debuffs, which is important here. Trust me, I've tried every single free to play SR team comp there can be. But she's on Swift Rush Time Weave, and this is why it's highly important. You need her on Time Weave and you need the prey that it procs. She needs to be high crit for her skills, and that's my team. That's it for today's video. Now I've beaten every single Inferno threshold, and now I've beaten every single Grim Pursuit in the game, all in Inferno. All free to play accessible units. If you ended up liking this video, make sure to hit that sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy thing so you know when I post a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.